My dad actually overdosed on pretty serious street drugs when I was 3. The thing that really stuck out to me about that experience was that his roommate was a churchgoer or a Christian or whatever you want to call him, and he had told my grandpa that he felt like it was my dad's time to go. And so he didn't actually call the police. He didn't call an ambulance or anything. And so I pretty much decided I wanted nothing to do with church, religion, God, or anything of that matter. Growing up, I had gone to church just a couple times with my grandma and heard a couple things, and I didn't actually believe any of the things that I heard at the church. I did meet a gal in grade school or middle school who was involved in a very religious home. I couldn't hang out with her unless I went to their church meetings. So I had pretty much decided from that point on I really wanted nothing to do with religion. And so I grew up just basically, trying to think positive, and I focused a lot on success and what I could do and things like that. And so then my next experience with religion comes when my business mentor, unexpectedly, she passed away. I was really confused as far as what happens when people die. This was just something that started really bothering me. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to believe. And I just started feeling like maybe I need to look into some of this God stuff. And so I bought a book that I heard somebody talking about and started reading it. It was way too much God stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm not ready for that. I actually got married I got engaged the next year and I got married the following year, and Kevin actually married us. But once I got married, I really felt like things started seriously feeling like I was missing something. And again, kept getting those messages that I needed to get some answers. My husband and I had been battling infertility for probably about 5 or 6 months, which feels like nothing, but when you're in the midst of it, it feels like forever. And somebody kind of unexpectedly came into my life. We started working together, and she was probably one of the most joyful people I'd ever met, and she lived a Christian life. She was one of the only Christians I'd ever met that was joyful and happy and walked the walk and not just talked the talk, and she wasn't judgmental and she wasn't critical, and she didn't, walk around talking about all these rules. And just a couple, I think maybe 2-3 months after we started spending time together, she shared the gospel with me in the Arby's salad bar in Lewiston. So if you ever feel like you need the perfect place to share the gospel, you don't. Because I had never had someone tell me that all I had to do was receive Christ. That I had this gift that was just sitting there waiting for me. All I had to do was take it. I didn't even know exactly what to expect in coming into the Lord, but I had some immediate changes that happened in my heart, in my life. Started understanding the love of God and who God was, not just the religion. Just 2 months after that, my husband developed cancer. So it was kind of a big shock, a big hurt, and I really felt like I was mad at God because I thought, I've been rejecting you my entire life, and I finally submitted to you, and this is what you're doing to me. I don't think I would have made it through the cancer stuff if it weren't for my brand new relationship with God, because it was hard. But I just stayed really close to God. I stayed in the Bible. I kept going to Bible study. I kept going to church. I got mentorship. I got discipled, and I just learned how to hold on really tight and not let the enemy stop me. Fast forward, a month later, my husband gets surgery. He's cancer-free, and so we're still battling infertility at this point. But, after 16 months of being married and battling the infertility, we got pregnant, and so we're super excited. We have our first baby coming in April this year. And I just totally feel like my life has changed completely. My heart has changed completely. I can't imagine going back and just severing this relationship that I have with God now because of what He's done in me and through me. And, we continue to fight those battles against the enemy regularly, but I do think that what I have found in God has far exceeded, any of those obstacles that the enemy has put in my path. So that's kind of my story.